May is Lyme Disease Awareness Month, and May 1st is the beginning of a whole month of advocacy and awareness for Lyme disease and also other tick-borne diseases. And it's always a month that I want to try to get more things out there and teach more people about the disease and what it's like for me to go through the disease and what it's like for other people to go through the disease. I'm going to do a Q&A for the first day of Lyme Disease Awareness Month. The first question is, how has my life changed since the last year when I did this video with my friend Emily and she asked me questions a whole year ago? And in addition to that, how has my life changed since I got Sonoma? And one of the biggest things about how my life has changed throughout this whole year is I got Sonoma on April 7th of last year. So just turning May, we barely had him. We were just getting used to him right there. We were figuring out his bathroom schedule. We were going to work with him, and Richter wants to leave the room. Go ahead, room. Things have changed. I've had some hospital visits that haven't been very fun. And I've had some doctor experiences that haven't been very fun, but I've also had a lot of great things. Do you want to come chew, Sonoma? He has gotten so great. He's alerted to seizures. That's been a new thing this past year. Here, come lay down. Come lay down. Come be a part. You're such a big part of this year. The next question is, in the past year, have I started any new treatments for Lyme disease? The answer is absolutely yes. Could I name them? Like maybe one of them, two of them. I can name two of them. The others, absolutely not. With my naturopath and my Lyme literate doctor, we are constantly changing things because Lyme disease, you don't just have one medicine and then you stay on it, even if it's like a long-term thing. No, we're always changing things. Well, another thing is I started BRT, which is the bioresonance therapy. That's the biggest thing that I started, and it's been really hard because it's been really hard on my body, and we've had to go really slow with it, but we have thought of discontinuing it, and we had to look more into it and talk to the doctor more, and we decided that we are going to stay with that. And yeah, we have to go slow, and yes, it's disappointing when you don't see results right away or it makes you feel sick, but in order to do more things with this doctor, we have to get through this beginning chapter. Another thing I've been doing is cognitive behavioral therapy, which can address many things. And that has been very interesting and also very difficult because it's pretty confusing. The next question is it harder to deal with Lyme now that I've gotten older? And I would say, in general, no, because I have learned so much that my coping skills are a lot better, and I'm learning how to not just overdo myself, and I'm learning that it's okay that I'm not in college, and these things you just have to go through and you have to learn to accept. And I'm just learning so much, and I have to be okay with the path that I'm in right now. It's really hard because Lyme disease is so isolating, and the disease is so hard to deal with. People don't understand it. Parents don't understand it. Like, my mom really understands it. My dad does not understand it. So it can be really challenging. And I will say I have been seeing a very Lyme literate. He actually has Lyme and has PICC line right now. It's like his third PICC line therapist, and I've been going to therapy because I've been depressed from Lyme disease. It stopped me from doing things that I've been wanting to do, and it has been a really hard road. But that is just one thing that I'm also learning to overcome in the midst of overcoming everyday life and having hard days and days where it's just doctor's appointments and frustrating, and then having days where I'm great and so happy. Like yesterday I spent the whole day at my grandparents' house, and that was just awesome. So as I get older, I'm just getting more mature about how I handle things, and I try not to let the little things bother me. And I'm also learning to be more open and not try to pretend that everything is going just beautiful and dandy when things aren't. And I would never show that side of me of being unhappy and not being happy about where I am and being upset about things. And now I'm trying to be more real, because I do have emotions, but I would always hide them. The next question is, what would I ask an older or more experienced Lyme patient? I don't know. I would probably ask them, not really, just kind of things out of curiosity. What's really interesting to hear is everyone's personal Lyme story, whether they are new to Lyme or they are Lyme veterans, that they've been doing this for a long time and they've had Lyme for 30 years and they're still treating. It's always interesting to hear if they know when they got bit by a tick, or if they knew they got bit by a tick, and where they're from and who their doctors are, because a lot of people see my doctors come from all over the country. Some come from around the world to see my doctors. What is your Lyme disease story? That is something I would ask them, like, how long did it take you to get diagnosed, and what are your major symptoms? Maybe what was the most helpful thing for you? Like, what were you previously diagnosed with? Is it fibromyalgia? Is it multiple sclerosis? Was it Alzheimer's? Were you told you were stressed? How was it going to hospitals? I really wouldn't be looking for advice. I think I would just be interested to want to know their story. Alright, this question is like really, really important to me. It's, what would you ask someone who is new to Lyme disease, that like just got diagnosed, or maybe their child just got diagnosed and they're just like, here. I would say, oh my gosh, because this has happened and people don't know what to do because it is such a misunderstood disease. You need to find a Lyme literate doctor. There are plenty of Lyme literate naturopaths. I have packets of Lyme literate doctors. I would send them in for the links online, like to the websites of Lyme literate doctors, and I would say, you need to find a Lyme literate doctor. I would say, watch the movie Under Our Skin. I would say, watch on Fox News, both on YouTube, Lyme and Reason. The first one and the second one, that are both also on my YouTube channel. I would say, educate yourself. Go on the iLads website. Go to Lyme literate conferences and educate yourself. The general public does not know about chronic Lyme disease. The general doctor population does not know about chronic Lyme disease, which ticks me off. And they're not just going to treat you. You have to be an advocate yourself. I would tell them, be an advocate for yourself. They say they're not going to treat you, you go to someone until they will treat you. You need to change your diet. I would just send them all these links of all these information and pictures of information, and really hope that, since I'm a person that has gone through this, that they would really take my advice. And I know people that have taken my advice, and I know people who haven't, and I mean, this actually just happened today with one of my mom's, someone related to my cousin's daughter was bitten by a tick, and the doctor they took her to the doctor and they wouldn't give her an antibiotic unless she had symptoms, and we're like, that's wrong because she might not develop symptoms for 5 years. And it's just really upsetting because the pediatricians don't know. Weren't taught it in medical school, and then parents are just thinking, well, it's the pediatrician or it's this doctor. They know what they're doing, and you should be able to trust your doctor. But where did that get me for 5 years? Not very far. So I would really say take Lyme disease extremely seriously. Go do all the research you can. Watch these documentaries. And I would say always contact me if you have a question, because I answer tons of people's questions. And don't just let it go. Don't just think it's okay, because it's not just going to be okay. It will be okay if you get treated within time. If you don't get treated within time, you'll be like someone I met who passed away from Lyme disease. Because she wasn't treated in time. She was misdiagnosed for too long. So I'd say really be an advocate. You just need to keep pushing, and you keep looking for a doctor until you find a doctor that's going to treat you and understands you and listens to you. Because you deserve that kind of treatment. You deserve someone to treat you and to listen to you. And there are doctors out there, but you have to be willing to fight for it. The next question was about research and discoveries about Lyme treatment over the past year. Honestly, I can't really say much about that, because I know I'm always seeing articles on Facebook that says new this, new that, possible vaccine that could be better, possible this, possible that. I can't read them because I can't read articles. I know that they are always working in labs to try to find better testing, but I don't know really the extent of it. If Lyme disease were a person and you could talk to it, so Lyme disease is an actual person that I can talk to, not just a disease in my body, what would you say to it and why? And I thought about this for a while. I don't know what I would say. And then I thought, the first thing that came to my head, besides oh, you ruined my life, oh, you did this, oh, you messed all this stuff up, yeah, there are all those bad things, but I would say, Lyme disease, thank you for making me a stronger person and for teaching me so much about life in general and not just about a disease, and for teaching me to speak up for myself and advocate for myself and to follow what I love to do, to be less judgmental of others and other people's situations, and thank you for helping me helping me find these friends that I would have never found. It's amazing to think that you're thanking a disease, but because there are so many bad things too that are not great. But without Lyme disease, I wouldn't be doing this video with my friend Emily, because I wouldn't know who Emily is. Without Lyme disease, I wouldn't be a coach at gymnastics and realize that that's what I really want to do and how much I really, 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 really love dancing. Even more than I thought. And I wouldn't be learning all of these medical things. Thank you for teaching me about service dogs and for getting me this amazing service dog. Without having Lyme disease in my life, I would just be another kid in college and I wouldn't be that different. But Lyme disease has made me more of an individual and has opened many more doors for me than if I didn't have it. And that's pretty amazing. Please wear green for Lyme Disease Awareness Month, and keep watching out for more videos.